What's up, everybody? Today I'm going to be doing a little review on a Kickstarter conversion for your XR150. Initially, this video was going to be a complete tutorial from start to finish on how to install the conversion. But now it's become a warning video on why you should probably not do the conversion. So if you are going to do the conversion or you're thinking about it, there's really two ways you can go about it. You can get all the parts from Honda, genuine parts, but you'd have to outsource them from, Asia or South America, and that is not easy to do, and it's very expensive. So the second option is to order them from Scooter Swap Shop. They came out with the full conversion recently, everything you need to do it. However, there's a big problem that unfortunately even they overlooked. And a couple people have done the conversion before they came out with theirs, and they overlooked this issue too. And the issue is that the United States spec and Canada spec bikes have a different counter shaft in the transmission. Everything else about the whole engine, everything, transmission-wise, is all globally the same part number except for the counter shaft. Why they did that, I don't know. But anyway, the problem is the US spec bike, the counter shaft is missing a snap ring groove on the end of the counter shift. In the Kickstarter conversion, I wish I could show you, but everything's all buttoned up. There's an idle gear, and it basically is between the clutch basket and the Kickstarter drum. And that idle gear runs on the end of your counter shaft. And on the Asia spec bikes, there's a snap ring that holds the idle gear on. And there's a groove for it, but on the US bikes there's no groove, so that snap ring has nowhere to clip into. And Scooter Swap Shop, they give you the idle gear, they give you the snap ring, and there's two little washers that go on the idle gear. But even they didn't really notice the fact that the snap ring has nowhere to hold on to. So there's that problem, which you risk having the snap ring back out and clank around inside your engine, which has been reported by one person already. And the idle gear can't necessarily fall off. The clutch basket kind of covers it up and won't allow that gear to actually fly off and wreak havoc inside the engine. But it will, move back and forth, and it can, I don't know, cause some wear and stuff on things, I guess. So there's that issue. And then the second issue is that the counter shaft is supposed to have an oiling hole on the end to constantly lubricate the inside of that idle gear. And this one doesn't have it. US spec does not have it. So that's another issue. And it's, you kind of wonder, how much oil does it really need? And I don't know. Nobody's really figured that out yet. Nobody really has even talked about the oiling problem. They only talk about the snap ring problem. I guess after a while, I'm going to take my cover off and I'm going to inspect it. I'm going to see, maybe after 1,000 miles, I'm going to see how much wear is actually on the end of that counter shaft from there not being an oiling hole. Maybe the splashing of the oil is sufficient enough. We're going to find out. So, and you might ask, okay, well, can't I just get an Asian spec counter shaft? Yeah, you can. But you'd have to literally disassemble the entire engine, everything. And you'd have to split the case, take the gears out, take the transmission apart. I mean, you really want to take your engine out, completely disassemble it all the way down just to add a Kickstarter? I can't imagine anybody would do that. I even contemplated it for a second, and I was like, dude, it's just not worth it. If I could do it all over again, I wouldn't even have done this project. But the problem is I spent so much money and so much time and effort to get this done. I just went ahead and did it. I wouldn't do it though if I would have known all this from the beginning. So Scooter Swap Shop, they include, the Kickstarter. They include this new brake lever because the US spec one does not clear the Kickstarter. And they also include the case. However, the case that they include doesn't have a Honda logo on it. For some reason that bugged me. I'm a weird guy, so I was like, I've got to have the Honda logo. So I went out, called every machine shop I could in town to see if they would bore out the hole for the Kickstarter and properly machine it to fit the seal, the oil seal. And I think like 7 shops later, finally, someone was like, okay, yeah, we might be able to do it. And I got that done. It took a long time, and it was like $150 just to have that done. So, yeah, that plus I think the kit is like $150 for everything, which is pretty good price. And okay, so it works. Only problem, I guess I can't say it's the only problem, but one problem is this pedal initially was bent way in, like way too far, and it just didn't, my foot wouldn't fit right. It didn't touch it. I kept missing every time I'd go hit the brake, so I had to like bend it pretty far out. Also, I was having an issue with that thing rubbing on the case. I don't really even know what that's for. It's not on the US spec pedal. So I had that issue. Also had an issue with fitment here. I had to take a Dremel and Dremel the bejesus out of this to get it to fit inside of this slot. I'm getting the cotter pin on the back side through. Holy smokes. Sorry, it's not focusing, but yeah, that was a pain in the ass. Okay. Another problem is that when you actually kick it over, and say your foot slips off when you kick it, say it doesn't stay on, which happens, sometimes when you go to kickstart, your foot flies off of it. Well, what happens is it will do that, it'll come back up, and it'll get stuck there, and, it'll start grinding and whining and all that crap, and then you've got to, fish it out and bring it back up. This is just this Kickstarter. You can buy, like, another Kickstarter, like a Hawk 250 or, any kind of other Chinese Kickstarter will fit, and it'll probably solve that issue. But that's the issue I had. I'm trying to think of any other problems or anything else that I ran into. Not really. Let me go ahead and set my camera on a tripod, and we'll go ahead and kick it over. So there you have it. Yep, it works. And it actually came in handy one time for me so far. Battery did die one day. Went to go fire it up and it didn't fire up, so I used the Kickstarter. So cool, but nah, I wouldn't recommend it. I just don't know if I can say I trust it with the issues. Oh, I forgot to mention. Okay, there is a solution for the snap ring. There's a solution for the snap ring. Can't believe I almost forgot this. Scooter Swap Shop, you know, the ones that made the conversion, they came out with a solution, because me and I'm sure a couple other people brought it up to them, like, hey, you know, there's this problem with the snap ring. They looked into it and they found, you know, they were kind of playing with a couple of solutions. One being like a press fit cap that goes over the end of the counter shaft, and then but what they ended up coming out with is a big washer. So there's this big washer that goes into the Kickstarter drum, and basically what it does, it's actually a precisely machined washer. I don't think it's a washer that you just can buy from anywhere. I'm pretty sure they machined it themselves, or they had somebody machine it. And they have sent it out to everybody who has bought this conversion. And they include it with all the new conversions. So what the washer does is it basically goes in a way where it is just barely in front of the idle gear. And it keeps it from coming loose. So there's that. Do I trust that solution? I don't know. I guess it's better than nothing. But again, guys, really, I don't. It's a shame, you know, every other country in the world has a Kickstarter on their XR150. The US and Canada don't get it. And it's a shame. I wish Honda would just give us the damn Kickstarter. I don't know why they have to gyp us on that, you know. But anyway, that's it, guys. If you have any questions about the conversion, just comment down below. I'll answer. You know, this has been a big, long process, and I would not do it again. But if you are certain that you want to do this, go for it. If you need to know anything, just let me know. See y'all later.